Hi there, how are you? I'm going to give you some ideas to prepare the B2 FCE Speaking Part 2. This is the typical setting you are going to see in the Speaking Part 2. We've got the pictures, and the first thing they're going to ask us to do is compare. Compare whatever is happening in the first picture with whatever is happening in the second picture. The second part is answering a question. In the speaking part 2, you're going to be speaking for 1 minute. So make sure you have a strategy in mind. Follow a simple structure. The structure, similarity, difference, and answer the question is a good one because it shows that we are organized in our minds. Let's look. With these two pictures, how would we prepare this? Similarity. Let's look at the two pictures and let's see what could be a similarity between them. They are people practicing extreme sports. This is climbing, rock climbing, and this is surfing. Difference. Well, maybe this person is experiencing more the feeling of freedom because he is outdoors. Another difference, well, maybe the person here who is climbing is not so dependent on the weather as the surfer. And answer the question, well, the question was what people might enjoy when practicing these sports. So maybe I think that they are having a feeling of self-satisfaction, and otherwise they can also feel a great personal achievement. With all this, we're going to set up a good answer for the second part. Well, that's not the end. What we're going to do is we are going to show how we organize our ideas by using these words that we can see here. This is an exercise that we're going to practice today. We're going to use these words, but there are many other different connectors, other words as well, and we will see them in future videos. So for the similarity, we're going to use the words both, to, and also. For the differences, we're going to use whereas or while. And for the answer, I imagine that. Quite simple. Let's see how to use them. The adding connectors are both, to, and also. So we're going to use them to speak about the similarity between the two ideas, because one idea is similar to the other, so we are adding a similar idea to a similar idea. Example, if I use the word both, I can say both pictures show people practicing extreme sports. Or I can use the word to. The person in the first picture is practicing extreme sports and the one on the second, too. So I am saying exactly the same as in the first sentence, but I am spending 2 lines instead of 1. How can I express it with also? The first person is practicing extreme sports and the second one is also doing it, right? So that's the way we use also, to, or both. I am probably going to keep the first sentence for myself because when we use both, it's very, very simple to summarize the idea in a short sentence. And this gives us more time to talk about the two differences and answer the question. Well, now we're going to focus on the two differences, right? Remember, one difference is that this one has more the feeling of freedom because he's outdoors, and the other one is that the climber is not as dependent as the surfer on the weather. Okay, so how are we going to say this using the connectors whereas and while? We use them when we are speaking about two things or two people or two situations and the things that are happening are opposed. For example, this car is black while this other car is yellow. This man has a dog, whereas this woman has a cat. Okay, so they both have pets, but one is a cat and the other one is a dog. Or they both have cars, but one is black and the other one is yellow. Okay, let's look at how we use the connectors. Whereas this man is indoors, the other one is having a feeling of freedom outdoors. While the surfer needs the weather forecast, the climber doesn't depend very much on it. However, we can change the order of the sentences. For example, we can say, whereas this man is indoors, the other one is having a feeling of freedom outdoors. Look at what we are doing here. This man is indoors, so this man is indoors. This is exactly the same, but without whereas. And then we use a comma here and we move this whereas to the second part of the sentence, whereas the other one is having a feeling of freedom outdoors. So what are we doing? We are only moving the connector, and we can use it at the front or on the second part after the comma. The same happens with while. While the surfer needs the weather forecast, the climber doesn't depend very much on it. Or the surfer needs the weather forecast while the climber doesn't depend very much on it. Use while at the beginning or in the middle of the sentence because it works. Okay, and now we're going to talk about how we answer the question. So a simple way to answer the question is using the connector I imagine that. I imagine that these two people are enjoying because they feel satisfied about what they're doing and they are happy because of their personal achievements. Well, let's practice the order of the answer. Reading the question, compare the activities and say what might the people enjoy about being active in these situations. Let's go. Well, both pictures show people practicing extreme sports. Whereas this man is indoors, the other one is having a feeling of freedom outdoors. And while the surfer needs the weather forecast, the climber doesn't depend very much on it. I imagine that these two people are enjoying because they feel satisfied about what they're doing. Okay, we have practiced the order of the ideas. Now we're going to see if we can fit these ideas into 1 minute. Ready, steady, go. Both pictures show people practicing extreme sports. Whereas this man is indoors, the other one is having a feeling of freedom outdoors. While the surfer needs the weather forecast, the climber doesn't depend very much on it. I imagine that these two people are enjoying themselves because they feel satisfied about what they are doing. And they are happy because of their personal achievements. Personally, I have never tried this kind of extreme sports, but I would absolutely love to do that one day very soon. Right, so you have seen that I have talked about all my ideas and I had extra time to complete the minute, then I spoke about my personal life. This is something that we can do because we have to remember that we've got 1 minute to speak and we have to use it all. Right, now this is your turn to write down on a piece of paper one similarity and two differences about these pictures, and then to answer the question about what might the people be enjoying about being active in these situations. Take your time, and whenever you're ready, you can do the exercise with the temporizer. Good luck. Right, your time starts now. Time's over. Okay, here you've got 2 more pictures and I would like you to compare them roughly because I would like you to do the same exercise this time with these ones. Right, so your time starts now. Time's over.